You know, every leader has one, that one team member whose energy can just suck the air out of a room and bring a great meeting to a screeching halt. Well, today, we're not just going to talk about how to manage them, we're going to talk about how to transform them. In this explainer, we are unlocking the strategy to turn your most challenging people into your most surprising assets. Okay, here's our game plan. First, we're going to define the problem, the mood killer. Then, we'll dive into two classic types, the apathetic and the angry. And finally, we'll reveal the single most powerful tool you have as a leader to make all of this actually work. All right, first up, let's really get a handle on what we're dealing with. Because this is way more than just a bad attitude. It's a force that can literally derail an entire team's progress. I want you to think for a second. Who just popped into your head? You know the one. The person who sighs really loudly during a brainstorm or shoots down an idea before you've even finished the sentence? Got someone in mind? Good. Keep them in your head as we go through this. You know, in Korean, there's this perfect slang term for this exact thing, gap bun sa. It basically means when someone suddenly just makes the whole atmosphere icy and awkward. It's that mood killer effect. As a leader, you can spend all this time building up positive momentum, and then one person walks in and poof, it's gone. And this is genuinely one of the toughest challenges a manager will ever face. Why? Well, for one, that negative energy is incredibly contagious. It spreads way faster than enthusiasm ever could. And you can try all the usual stuff, right? Personality tests, one-on-one coaching, but a lot of the time, nothing seems to stick. This isn't some small issue, it's consistently a top-tier concern for leaders everywhere. But here's the big idea for today, the real mind shift. What if we stopped seeing this person as a problem to be fixed and started seeing them as a source of untapped energy? This negative force, it's not a liability. It's an opportunity for a complete turnaround, a bunjin, as they say in Korean. We're not going to fix it, we're going to redirect it. So let's start with our first archetype, the apathetic team member, the one who just seems totally unmotivated. But the key here, the real key, is understanding that not all apathy is the same. We have to find the cause. See, we tend to lump all unmotivated people into one big category, and that is a huge mistake. There are really two very different types of apathy. On one hand, you've got the person who just kind of lacks that initial get up and go spark. But on the other hand, you might have a former high performer who's just completely burned out. And believe me, they require opposite approaches. Okay, so for that person who's just slow to get started, seeing other people working hard can actually be a motivator. So the right move is to be inclusive. You want to frame it as a shared effort, something like, hey, the team is really pushing hard on this, let's jump in and do this together. That gently pulls them into the group's momentum. But, and this is so important, for that burnt-out star performer, that same approach is completely demoralizing. Seeing everyone else working hard just reminds them how exhausted they are. For them, you have to rebuild their sense of unique value. A phrase like this singles them out. It shows you trust their specific skills, and it restores their feeling of importance. It's like you're rekindling their individual fire. All right, let's tackle another classic difficult personality. The person who's quick to anger, the one who brings that really intense, confrontational energy into every discussion. The Korean word for this type is ukkanen, and it describes someone who just flares up out of nowhere. This is the person who might challenge you really aggressively in a meeting or react with way too much anger over something small, making everyone else feel like they have to walk on eggshells. I want you to think of this person not as a problem, but as a wild horse. They have all this incredible power and energy. The issue isn't the energy itself, it's that it's untamed and pointed in the wrong direction. Your job isn't to break the horse, it's to learn how to ride it. So what's their hidden strength? What's the superpower here? Well, while most people avoid conflict, these individuals run straight towards it. They have this incredible gut instinct for spotting what's broken, what's unfair, or what's just plain inefficient. They can become the team's agent of anger, channeling all that frustration to finally fix a problem that everyone else is too afraid to even mention. So how do you harness this? It's a simple 3-step process. First, you have to acknowledge their strength, out loud. Tell them you see it. Second, give them an official role. Assign them the specific task of fixing that frustrating process or that unfair system. And third, just step back and watch what happens. That disruptive, angry energy transforms into a laser-focused drive for solutions. They feel valued, and the team gets a huge problem solved. It's a win-win. So here's the crucial point. None of these strategies, for the apathetic or the angry employee, none of them work without one fundamental skill. It's not about having some magic phrase or a perfect personality. It's all about how you see your team. The master key that unlocks every single one of these turnarounds is actually pretty simple. It's observation. 관찰 in Korean. It's the disciplined act of just watching, of understanding the root causes of someone's behavior before you jump in and try to fix it. And right here lies a huge trap for experienced leaders. See, early in our careers, our main asset is observation. It's the tool we use to learn how things work. But as we get more experience, we forge a powerful weapon, our intuition. The danger is that we start to rely only on that weapon, and in the process, we put down the one tool that made us successful in the first place. Let that sink in for a minute. The more we grow, the more we trade the tool for the weapon. We start making assumptions based on things that happened in the past. We see an unmotivated employee, and our intuition immediately says, oh, they're just lazy. We see an angry employee, and our intuition says, they're just disruptive. We end up completely misdiagnosing the problem because we've stopped truly observing the person right in front of us. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Go back to that person you pictured at the very beginning of this. What happens if you put down the weapon of your intuition and just for a little while pick up the tool of observation? What do you see then? What hidden strength, what untold story, what amazing turnaround opportunity is just sitting there, waiting for you to notice it?